Hey everyone, it's Jeannie here from Bo Beanie Creates, and I'm back with part 2 of coloring in Fantastic Collections. This is the Steve McDonald book that I showed the other day. If you were here then, you'll notice that I got quite a bit done. I continued to work on it off and on after I filmed, and I was able to get some of the green in here. I was able to, sort of add some dimension to some of these, other pieces. So you'll see that it looks a little bit different than it did last time. So let's go ahead and jump in. And I'm just gonna play. Again, I probably won't do a lot of talking. I just really wanted to work on this page. It was a lot of fun the other day, and you guys were awesome company. So welcome. In my last video, I had commented that some of these items are like mystery produce, mystery fruit. So quite honestly, I'm just coloring what I want to color. And yeah, it's may or may not be what the artist intended, but you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I was kind of cracking up. I think these probably are supposed to be kiwis, but in my little farmer's market, these kiwis are purple. And I'm quite sure nothing like that I'm aware of in nature, but we don't care. This is our little fantasy fruit market, One of the fun things about coloring is you just do whatever you want. My son and I often quote a line from, if you've ever seen that movie, Billy Madison, and he went back to kindergarten, and his kindergarten teacher said, I see that you colored a blue duck. And he said, I have always wanted to see a blue duck. And she said, well, that is an excellent blue duck. It just reminds me a lot of just us in our coloring and having fun with what we do. And that's the point. So this is my excellent blue duck. I'm going to try to keep this a little bit of a shorter video if I'm able to as well. Gosh, that last one took forever to upload, and that could be user error on my part. I don't know, but I think I'd rather keep it a little bit on the shorter side. Okay. Oh, I should have sharpened that before I started. Sorry about that. And for anybody who's interested, I'm using the Prismacolor Premier pencils. And I didn't mention what I was using so far, but this one is Artichoke. And then I used Canary Yellow and Cream. I like the way this is coming along. I really do. It's tedious, but it's a good tedious. Gonna smooth that out a little bit. And then back with my lighter color. I'll just go over the whole thing. I'm kind of a slow colorist, I think, by nature, but I'm trying also to be a little bit speedier, just so it might be a little bit more enjoyable. And I can go over some of this off camera. It's not like I need to keep you here for all of that. Going in with some true green here. Putting down a base layer really does speed up the process. Not that that matters, but it is kind of a wonderful thing to have a base layer. And lucky for me, I've had a base layer on this for a very long time, and all I needed was to step back into it and work on it a bit, you know. Check my screen here. I had bumped my mat. All right, going in with a parrot green just to kind of deepen things up a little bit. Boy, I've seen a lot of videos on people destashing their, parts of their collection, and I think that's an awesome idea. I think we wade through a lot of things that we know in our hearts we're not going to get to, type of thing, and better to pass it along to somebody who's going to enjoy it. And I've seen people, giving to secondhand shops or libraries or whatnot, and I think that's pretty awesome. Okay, let me get a little bit of a little bit of a lighter color. I am not gonna worry about getting a pencil extender out for this. Just gonna kind of go over it a little bit. And gosh, I think this, I don't remember what this was. I can look it up real quick. 838. This is one offhand I can't think of the name of. Excuse me, 920. It's light green. Okay. Light green it is. Okay. All right, gonna call that good. And then this one, those last ones were more of a blue-green. You know what, I think I'll come back to this. This is more of a yellow-green to me, so I'll come back to that and address that later. I think what I'd like to do is head over here with my greens. So this is really an odd thing in this picture. It looks to me like these are Christmas ornaments, doesn't it? So I don't know. But in my little picture here, these are going to be more of a, actually let's go in with this one. They're going to be more of a, not so much a Christmas green, but more of a blue green for this ornament. Actually, let's go ahead and get the whole thing here. That looks a little splotchy. That's not a word, splotchy. And then I think on these little silver bits, I'm going to cheat and use a silver gel pen instead of using pencils on that, just because I don't feel like trying to shade out something with pencils that little. And it looks like that one got a little lime green on it, so that will help me to be able to go over top of that. So okay. I think also, in addition to that silver gel pen, I can use a little bit of white gel pen or some white Posca to kind of bring out some shine in some of these items. I'll do that off camera though, because I like to kind of take my time with that a little bit. Plus, I don't know about you guys, but some of the time my white products don't work very well, and I don't know what that is. And so it's not fun to fight with those, you know? Just isn't. Seems like every time I turn around, another one's not working. I've had better luck of late, but just not my favorite sometimes. Okay, I think we'll call that good. And I think I'll attack some of this yellow here. So, and I think we decided the other day that that was probably like a yellow squash, like a crookneck squash. Well, not that crookneck, but so we're just gonna say that it is and go in and work on it accordingly. I think this is adding some good dimension, having these pencils go over the top of my watercolor mystery base layer that I have going on here. And I'm enjoying it a lot. I really am. Isn't it funny how I could avoid this for so long going back to this page, but the reality is it really is a lot of fun, which is, hey, that's why I color. I don't know about you guys, but it's why I color. Just so enjoyable, relaxing, all of that, you know. And these are the same yellow pencils that I used up here as well. Only I'm not, so far I haven't used any of the artichoke for this I'm using yellowed orange instead. All right, got it. Going back in with the cream. Gonna smooth that up a little bit. And again, I'm going quick here. I don't normally do that, but I think for the purposes of this video, that's probably a good thing. Okay, I think I want a little bit of like a burnt ochre. Is that what this is? Yeah, burnt ochre in just on the ends a little bit. Could be a little sharper as well. Gosh, sorry about the sharpening, guys. I thought these were ready to go, but I guess not. Okay. Okay, looking all right. And let's see. Up here as well, and let me look and see if we can see that in camera. I'll move it down just a tad here for us. And honestly, that to me looks like a yellow squash also, so I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I guess they just decided that they needed things scattered about. Another farmer brought by another load of yellow squash and they had to add it to the mix here. Or it's an entirely different fruit and I just don't know one from the other, which is probably a better possibility, but that is all right with me. I do not mind that at all. Boy, I wish I could garden. Where I live, it's super hot, and I feel like I say that on every video. Boy, I might need to, I might need to watch that. But yeah, and it's just hard to grow a garden here if you don't want to spend a ton on water, which I don't want to do, and I also don't want to stand out in the heat and work the garden. So I've tried it, you know, for a few years off and on, and it was fun, but there wasn't really any payout. The payout was to the water company, so that wasn't so good. I mean, the experience is fun, I get that, you know, it really is, but yeah, overall, it's probably not anything I'll pursue. I did one year do something that I thought was kind of fun. It was more of a fall garden, and I have more success with that here because it's, you know, it doesn't take as much water, but it was one of those straw bale gardens, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen those. If you haven't, you might want to look it up. Those are so fun. Yeah, look it up. What they do is they take straw bales and they add, I'm gonna try to remember this, it's been a while, but what they do is they add nitrogen granules to the top of the straw bale, and then you keep it moist, and it ends up composting itself from the inside. And so you just take a thermometer and you go out and you just test the internal temperature of the hay bale, and you'll see it rising and rising until it hits whatever, you know, degrees that they tell you is optimal, and then you know it's composted enough to plant. And I did that, and I'll tell you what, that worked really well. I had all sorts of things. I had Again, where I'm at, fall means we can plant things like tomatoes, like a second round of tomatoes then, and that type of thing. So I did that, and I had various different kinds of kale planted in that, and that was kind of cool. I had, you know, the dinosaur kale and the Russian red kale, and I don't remember what all, but that was a fun garden. That really was. I had an awfully good time with that. And then I had flowers planted in the side of it, so it was also pretty, you know. That was the other kind of cool thing about it, is you could plant all over it, not just on the top of it. I'm not explaining it very good, but if you get a chance, look it up, because it really is sort of a neat project, you know. I might have to do that one again. I really might. That I can wrap my head around that. That didn't take as much effort in the fall for me to manage, and it was fun, and it was pretty. It was like a rustic pretty, you know. So maybe I will do that again. Okay. That's good. Okay. Well, I got my little red erased a little bit. I'll have to go back in, get that. All right. Okay, we'll call that good. Now, let's see. I feel like these can kind of be similar. I think I'm just gonna go in and do about the same thing there. Do you guys have a rescue produce in your town? We do here, and it's kind of cool. There's an organization that, I don't know how they go about it, but they obtain produce that is ready to be discarded by, you know, stores or whoever, growers or whatnot. And they go in and they rescue the produce, and then they sell it, you know, 70 pounds for $10 or whatever it is, to the public. And some of them do it for, you know, they raise money for their charity organization, or, you know, for different things. And I always enjoyed that. I like canning, and that is a good way of getting a nice bulk of produce at a good price, you know. But and it's a good cause, I think. I just hate the idea of waste, so I think that's sort of fun as well. That admirable is what it is, that they take the time and resources, and there's a lot of volunteer hours in it to make it happen, and I just think it's really pretty cool. Okay, just a little bit of color there, you know. There we go. Okay, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking I might want to call it here. Obviously, I've got, you know, quite a bit more to do, but that's what it takes to do a picture like this, is just a lot of different layers and a bit of time, but it's also fun. It really is. So I'm gonna let you guys go here. I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for joining me, and happy coloring.